Hi, I'm Janice with Treble Music. I'm a veteran music teacher and I've taught at all grade levels. And what I know is the hardest thing for me was keeping organized with all those paper pencil activities. Let's talk about how we can get organized in the music classroom. Well, sometimes we're teaching multiple classes, multiple grade levels. My last year, I was teaching 16 classes, kindergarten through fifth grade, and sometimes the kids were coming so fast it was hard to be ready for the next activity. Now, the other cool thing that I've had for the past couple of years is my district registered us for Quaver Music, and I'll put that in a link below. It's a wonderful program. It's a digital. Great videos, great teaching lessons, and digital assessments and gradebook. Wow, what a bonus. But sometimes we want to do paper pencil activities in the music room. How do we organize that? Let's look at that. One of the ways, first thing I'll do is make copies for all of the classes that I want to do paper pencil assessments. And then the way I'll also do that is I put it in a file box right by the door. Notice that I have it marked music work to do today. And that's just say, hey, Dodson, don't forget to look at what you've got to have the classes do and try to get that done this week. Then the next thing is making sure that what I did, and you can use any kind of box. It doesn't have to be one of these. I like this one because it has handles. I can pick it up and move it from place to place. And then I color coded file hanging file folders, and then I also color coded the labels on each one. So my kinders were kinders were green, a light green, generic green, and then my graders were green, and second graders were yellow, and so on and so forth. And I picked those colors because several years ago, I found the adoption books, Spotlight on Music, and I ended up using those colors to color code everything in the classroom. I knew yellow was second. I knew orange was a different class. I knew blue was my fifth grader. So it doesn't matter how you do it. I also make sure that the classroom teachers' names were here. Now, once I got done getting all of the copies ready for each class, I would then put them in at the beginning of the week, standing straight up. So I knew that this class needed this paper pencil activity. Then I would put another one in another class right behind there. If I saw this standing up, I would take a quick look. Oh, yeah, so and so's class still needs to do that paper pencil activity. Once I collected them back, I would then turn them down. Uh, and then I would know that they were already ready to be passed back. Nothing else needs to be done. Now, if there were a couple of kids that didn't quite finish something, I might leave a couple of them, like one copy, still standing up. And I knew that meant that somebody needed to get to that, and I'd have their name on that. I'd also put extra copies of paper pencil activities in the backs. I always had extras for those kids that were gone. Another way, continuing along that organizational line, is once the kids finished the papers, I had them on the way out the door put their finished papers in a set of file drawers, rolling cart drawers, and then that would be all everybody tucked in right there. I then would get those papers out of that rolling cart, and whenever I had a moment, either a prep or after school, I would grade those papers, get those grades into my grade book as quick as possible, and then put anybody that needed to finish something, make sure that I mark it. Everybody that was finished would go down, and again, anybody that needed to finish something was standing up. And there was nothing better than at the end of a week to look at this whole file, these file folders, and there were standing, no standing papers. I would sometimes just leave the class sets of papers inside until I had a couple sets to then give to the teacher, or I could even get it to the teacher as soon as I had them marked down in the grade book. It's never easy to try a new organizational system, but when you give it a try and then make it continue to do that system for several weeks and months, you'll find it gets easier. Nothing a change up in a routine is hard, no matter how you do that. Stick with it, and if that one doesn't work, then find a different way of organizing. I always make sure that when the kids are that I have the um, this file box by the door so that as I'm having kids come in or as I'm going to get the kids, I'll pull out whatever papers, that file folder, those papers that need to get done. If it's not in my eyesight, it's easy to ignore. So you want to make sure it's by your desk, it's by the front door as kids are coming in. That's the easiest way to remind yourself that that needs to get done today. Let's revisit the process that I'm using. So first I get a box. It can be even a crate as long as it fits the hanging folders. It doesn't have to be color coded. It just makes it easier for me, whatever system works for you. And then I have all of the file folders labeled by teacher. Make sure that every class has one. Copies of the activities are inside. Remember, if it's standing up, that means it still has to get done. And then once I'm done with that class, that class puts them in the drawers by the door, and you can have any kind of system that you would like with a rolling cart, and I color coded those as well, put the name of each teacher. After school, if they are doing a prep, I'll grab any of those papers that are in the drawers and grade them quickly, get something written on in my grade book, even if I have to do it on a quick paper. And then when I come back to put those papers in, if somebody didn't quite finish or they were absent, I'll put a standing up. If it's all done, I'll lay it down, and then that means it's ready to pass back to the teacher. Like I said, nothing better than looking at and seeing all the papers have been done for the week. Please do visit my website. I've got several videos and sets of materials available on Teacher Pay Teacher for organizing. Also different kinds of vocal warm-ups and lessons. Uh, you might also like my video about establishing flow in the music classroom. We have to do some planning before we have the kids come, and then we also have to remember that if it doesn't work, we can change it. I hope that you found these ideas today to be helpful. If you please like, subscribe, and register to get notices about when new videos are going out. Love to hear any comments, and I hope you have a great day, year, lifetime of teaching. Thank you for being at this video today.